where we are joined by my colleague Chola Simon, who has been following up on community networks, the project that is being launched there, and he joins us now with the following report. Good afternoon, Achola. What is the latest from that side?
To you, Ben, Troy, Enjoy, and of course, happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies in the background. As you rightly put it, we are actually in Siaya County, and we are keeping our eyes on the ongoing community services internet connectivity summit here in Siaya County. And basically, as we all know, Ben, the fact that the government has already laid down the marker by investing in the 100,000 kilometers digital super highway. And of course, the minister has also pronounced himself in terms of ensuring that they will actually be launching at least 149,000 digital laboratories across the country. But more importantly, also they will be doing 45,000 hotspots across the country in markets. That, of course, is a commendable job. But moving forward, so that then each and every person in the community can actually access internet. We have small internet providers who are actually gathering here in Akala, in Siaya County, to actually deliberate on so many issues. And Ben, Troy, Enjoy, some of the things that they're actually deliberating on is how they are going to make internet viable to the communities in the village, how they are actually going to ensure that the communities in the very remote areas of this country actually utilize the internet in terms of information, but the of course the internet engineer Odhiambo, who will just step on the set, then he can actually discuss more about what they're actually deliberating on in this particular summit.
Thank you very much. My name is Alfonso Odhiambo, I'm the president of Internet Society Kenya chapter, and today marks a very good platform for us as community network service providers, especially in mitigating the government mission to connect the unconnected. So what we are doing today is just to make sure that we bring different stakeholders together and create a platform where we can have a collaboration, we can have a mitigation towards providing critical services to our communities, especially in the ground or in the unconnected part of the underserved areas.
So just before you continue, you say connecting the unconnected. Just kindly give us the status in the country in terms of connectivity to the internet services.
According to ICT Authority, I think now we are kind of 1% using the internet in Kenya, and a big portion of Kenyans are still outside the connectivity. And if you look at the digital landscape in Kenya, we are going to be a digital nation. And for us to achieve that, we also need to make sure that we are empowering our communities, our youth, and our students and everyone who is the local space to be able to enjoy the same digital opportunities. And we've seen that this is something that has a potential of changing how economic development is going to look like in the local regions. And we want to see Mama Mboga able to interact with the bigger communities and sell their products, and also even get to know what are the current trends, what are the things happening. So it comes along with different activities, including capacity building. We train communities. We want to train Mama Mboga to know how to use internet. It is not just a matter of connecting. It is a matter of making sure that the internet is good enough to empower lives and to transform lives into something that can change the community economic status.
The joke on the internet, and especially X social media platform, has been about the president's remark on tap Ngele, something like that, right? And that in itself, when you look at it from a different perspective, brings to the fore the fact that Kenyans are yet to embrace the vast potential of internet in terms of just making resources. How then do we ensure that each and every person in the country, and especially now that you are actually aggressively moving forward in terms of ensuring that accessibility to internet connectivity is actually at a higher level, how do we then ensure that we can leverage on the same to ensure that those actually in the village actually can access these opportunities and make money?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I think one of the biggest challenges that we've seen within the communities is the access to digital devices. We've seen connecting communities to internet, but to some extent, they don't have phones, they don't have laptops, or let's say, community labs that they can be able to access and, you know, use internet to change their economic status. So I think a call to action will be, how can we work with the government to, you know, extend the government services? I know there is a Huduma Center. Government wants to digitize 5,000 services, you know, to the communities. How can they get to access that? So it means we need to also think about building and providing ICT infrastructure, things like computers, hubs, so that they can be able to, you know, we can be able to avail services closer to the communities alongside the internet.
Thank you very much, Engineer Odhiambo. Of course, that is Engineer Odhiambo, the President of Internet Services Kenya. Of course, just breaking it out for us exactly what they're actually doing here, but more importantly also ensuring that we can actually understand what needs to be done in terms of ensuring that the unconnected in the country can actually be connected and start exploiting this vast potential that remains unexploited. Back to you, Ben Troy Njui.
Very well, thank you indeed, Chola Simon, for that report engaging Internet Service Kenya CEO in Siaya, where they have community networks. And one of the things that they have been able to do is boosting internet provision in the community, which he has noted internet provision has been, and digital services has been quite a challenge in the communities in Siaya, but they are doing all they can to ensure